Hey, welcome back to the stash. All-Star Superman, one of Grant Morrison's very best works to date. It's a story that transcends time, that transcends the limitations of any ordinary comic book. All-Star Superman has reached heights that only a character like Superman deserves. This was the first comic that truly got me enthralled within the world of the Man of Steel. In many ways, it changed me. Death lingers quietly in the background, but it never defines this story. What lives at the center of this story is something far more powerful. It's a quiet defiance in the face of the inevitable. A deep breath before the end. Not one filled with panic, but with peace, with intention, and with love. What All-Star Superman captures isn't a man breaking under the weight of his morality. It's a man choosing to rise above it, again and again until his final moment. He doesn't seek revenge, he doesn't spiral into anger or sorrow. Instead, he leaves behind a series of small miracles, a moment of compassion, a world made slightly more whole because he was in it. This is a story about how to live with purpose, how to face the end, not with fear, but with grace, and how to leave behind something brighter than yourself. The beauty of All-Star Superman is all about the light Clark shines on the way down. There's such a gentleness to the way Superman faces the end. No desperation, no fury, just clarity. A life lived with intention. A farewell written not in words, but in action. Before we properly begin though, I want to take a quick second to say that here at The Stash, we're trying to reach 13,000 subscribers before the end of the month. It's a huge ask, I know, but with your help, I also know we can do it. So if you can, please hit that subscribe button. Any support truly does mean the world to me. But anyway, with all that said, join us today for the finale of the Month of Steel. This is All-Star Superman, the comic that changed me. Superman flies too close to the sun. That's where it all begins, with a single act of selflessness. A team of scientists are stranded, their ship sabotaged, and Superman without hesitation races into the heart of the sun to save them. His body for a brief moment is exposed to more energy than it was ever meant to absorb, and it breaks something inside him. But there's no drama in his reaction, no outburst nor despair. When the doctors tell him he's dying, that the radiation has accelerated his cells beyond repair, he doesn't fall to his knees. He simply accepts it, gets back up, and goes to work. That's the beauty of it. The beauty of how All-Star Superman opens not with tragedy, but with quiet courage. We witness a man discover he's living on borrowed time, and chooses to spend it doing what he's always done, saving lives, helping people, keeping his promises. There's a stillness in how he carries this knowledge. He doesn't burden those around him. He doesn't retreat or rage. He simply decides to make his remaining days count, not for his own sake, but for the world he's leaving behind. From that moment on, the story unfolds with the weight and rhythm of something ancient, something eternal. For each chapter carries the tone of a parable, a glimpse into a world where hope is stronger than fear, and goodness doesn't ask for attention. This is Superman, at his most human, and also his most godlike. Not because of the power he holds, but because of the legacy he fights like hell to leave behind. The clock is ticking. Superman knows what's coming, but of course there's work to be done, and people who still need saving. He takes Lois Lane to the Fortress of Solitude. She's suspicious. He's never revealed his identity before, and especially not like this. And even now, part of her believes it's some elaborate prank, but it's real. He opens the door with a key forged from a dwarf star. He shows her the bottled city of Kandor, the Time Telescope, the Sun Eater, and one room she's not allowed to enter. Her paranoia builds. She finds a kryptonite laser, hides it and waits, and when she pulls the trigger, nothing happens. The radiation doesn't affect him anymore. He then walks her into the locked room, calmly, and shows her the truth. It's her birthday, and he's made her a serum. Something that will give her his powers for just 24 hours. A day to fly, to fight, to see the world the way he does. And when it's all over, they sit together on a rooftop under the stars. Superman tries to speak, maybe to ask her to marry him, but Lois has already fallen asleep. That's what he gave her. One perfect day. And then everything just keeps moving. Jimmy Olsen takes over Project for one day and accidentally unleashes a weapon buried beneath the surface of the moon. Black kryptonite infects Superman's mind, sending him into a fit of violent rage. He lashes out and he's not himself. But Jimmy doesn't run. Instead, he injects himself with a doomsday formula and fights back, for Superman's sake. Later, Clark Kent is granted an exclusive interview with Lex Luthor on death row, and I love how this goes beyond that of a conversation, but rather, it's a calculated dance between arrogance and restraint. Lex rants, plots, and plays mind games while Clark bumbles around in disguise, saving lives behind the scenes without ever revealing his hand. And then, there's a moment no strength can change. The death of Jonathan Kent. But as that is my favorite issue of the series, we'll get back to that very soon. Still though, the world turns. New Kryptonians arrive. Bar-El and Lilo. They're warriors, both brutal and unapologetic. They don't share Superman's values. They see Earth as something to conquer, not to protect. And when they fall sick with kryptonite poisoning, it would be so easy for Superman to let them fade away. But he doesn't. Instead, he does what he always does. He helps them. He places them in the Phantom Zone where they can be together once more. And through it all, Superman just keeps going. Whether it's comforting a girl who needs a helping hand more than anything in the world, curing children of their illnesses, or crafting a solar suit for a battle yet to come. Every day is spent in motion. Every action matters, because he knows his time is running out. But even now, he refuses to waste a single second. I didn't expect this issue to hit me the way it did. I've read Superman stories where he saves the day 100 times over. I've seen him lift planets, shatter mountains, rewrite fate itself. But here, he loses 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes, and it cost him his father. There's no dramatic music or anything of the sort. Just a heart that simply stopped beating. Jonathan Kent collapses in the fields of his farm, his pride and joy, and Superman isn't there. He's in the middle of a fight that he was warned not to join. And I swear, in those 2 crucial pages, they never fail to give me goosebumps. Seeing Clark fly as fast as he possibly can, shouting he can save everybody before exclaiming his pa, only to be hit by the gut-wrenching silence of the funeral in the very next page, is a scene I'll never forget. That's the part that stuck with me, because for all the larger-than-life imagery in All-Star Superman, this is the most human moment in the entire book. This is the moment you truly feel for Clark beyond that of his diagnosis. A man loses his father, and there's nothing he can do, and maybe that's why it broke me a little. It's a fear we all have, and to see our icon, our beacon of hope, no longer shine brightly, even if it's for a moment, it gets me every time. It perfectly displays that no matter how powerful you are, you can't punch your way out of grief. You can't fly fast enough to outrun a moment like that. You can only carry it with you. I think about that a lot, about how even after all that, he still moves forward. Not because he has to, but because that's who Jonathan Kent raised him to be. There's a question at the heart of All-Star Superman that echoes through every page. What do you do with power when you know your time is running out? Superman could have disappeared. He could have searched for a cure, or turned bitter, or taken control of the world for its own good. That's what so many other stories would have probably done. But this Superman, Morrison's Superman, never wavers. Every choice he makes reinforces one quiet truth. Power only truly means something if you use it to serve others, for the betterhood of those who surround you. It's why he saves the Kryptonians despite their arrogance, why he always saves someone no matter what, why he comforts a stranger, ready to end it all. It's why he keeps showing up, again and again in the face of things he knows. He knows he's leaving, but he makes sure the world knows how to keep going, and in every small act, every quiet choice, you start to realize this was never a story about a man dying. It's about what he leaves behind, and how, even at the end, Superman never stops showing us how to live. All-Star Superman is one of the most beautiful comics I've ever read. Not because of how grand it is, not because of the mythology or the powers or even the scale of what happens, but because of all the small moments. From the quietness, from the soft, steady way it shows Superman not as a symbol but as a person trying his best and never expecting anything in return. It understands something simple and true, that being Superman was never about power. It was about restraint, about kindness, about smiling at strangers and meaning it, about holding back when you could do more, because doing less is sometimes what people need. It's about saving the world quietly without ever needing the world to know it. This comic didn't just make me love Superman, it made me want to carry myself differently, to choose compassion when it's inconvenient, to be a little more patient, to believe that gentleness can be a strength, to believe that goodness still matters. And maybe that's the point, not just to admire Superman, but to follow him. Because even if we can't be Superman, we can still be someone better than we were yesterday.